If you're just getting into making YouTube videos, your smartphone camera is probably the best, most cost-effective place to start. Using what you already own also leaves more room in your budget to invest in a good microphone and lighting setup, which is key to creating videos that will stand out in the sea of content on YouTube. That said, there are some things a smartphone can't do. Going with an interchangeable lens camera gives you more control over the look of your videos. For instance, you can use different lenses to suit different video styles, like creating a shallower depth of field for talking head videos, or using a fisheye lens for sports and action videos. Consumer cameras are becoming increasingly powerful video tools, offering more advanced recording formats, higher bit rates, and greater bit depth with log profiles to give you more editing flexibility. If you want to step up your YouTube game, you'll have no shortage of camera options at different prices. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 5 best camera for YouTube and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you, and as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started with the video. Number 5. DJI Pocket 2. The DJI Pocket 2 is unique on this list. This tiny camera has a built-in 3-axis stabilized gimbal that ensures your footage looks smooth. While its video quality and low light capability can't compete with some of the larger sensor options above, the Pocket 2 can be a powerful all-in-one tool in any content creator's belt, especially if you're on a tight budget. The gimbal makes it incredibly easy to record super smooth handheld footage, and it has a slow motion capture mode that lets you shoot it up to 240 FPS in 1080p. The camera also has an active track feature that automatically follows a person or object, which you can use to get creative when shooting products or action footage. While the newer DJI Pocket 3 offers significant improvements, including a larger 1-inch sensor and bigger screen, it's also significantly pricier. If you don't have that kind of budget, the Pocket 2 is a great deal for content creators who want to shoot stabilized handheld video without spending a fortune on gimbals or extra accessories. The DJI Pocket 2 isn't bad for vlogging. It's incredibly portable and comes with a built-in 3-axis stabilized gimbal to reduce almost all camera shake when recording 4K or FHD video. You can use its screen for live view to monitor yourself and ensure you stay in frame, but the screen is quite small. You can also connect your phone to use as a larger screen, but we haven't tested this feature. Number 4. Sony ZV-E10. Best budget YouTube camera. The Sony ZV-E10 is one of the best cameras for YouTube beginners on a budget. It's similar to the Sony ZV-E1 above, but with less advanced internal recording specs and an APS-C sensor. Like its higher-end stablemate, it lacks a viewfinder, so it isn't as versatile for photography as a hybrid camera like the Canon EOS R10, but it's an excellent vlogging camera for the price. It even has neat extra features, including a specialized product showcase mode that automatically switches focus to any object held up in the frame, making it a great choice for product and beauty vloggers. If you're looking for better stabilization, the similarly priced and more compact Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV comes with 5-axis IBIS, making it a great alternative if stabilization and portability are priorities. However, it has a much less reliable autofocus system and uses a smaller 4/3 sensor. Ultimately, the ZV-E10 is still the best camera for YouTube beginners on a budget, thanks to its larger sensor, class-leading autofocus, and microphone input. The Sony ZV-E10 is excellent for vlogging, which is no surprise since this is its main intended use. The camera has a fully articulated screen that lets you monitor yourself while filming. If you don't have a tripod or shooting grip, the camera's hand grip has a relatively flat design that makes it easier to hold in a selfie position. The camera also has an excellent autofocus system that tracks faces well in video, and video quality is good overall, although it struggles a bit with noise in low light. Unfortunately, there's a very noticeable rolling shutter effect in 4K, which can distort straight lines in the background when vlogging on the move. Number 3. Canon EOS R10. The Canon EOS R10 is one of the best entry-level cameras we've tested and a great choice for both beginners and more experienced shooters. While it doesn't have some of the Sony a6700's more advanced features, like IBIS and log recording, it does have a fairly wide range of video features, including 4K recording at up to 60 FPS with a crop and an excellent autofocus system. If you need more dynamic range, the camera does offer 10-bit video capture in its HDR-PQ mode, though you won't get as much out of it as 10-bit log modes on the cameras mentioned above. Other than that, the camera has great ergonomics, a highly intuitive user interface, a fully articulated touchscreen, and a high frame rate mode for slow motion recording in 1080p. If you can find one, the Fujifilm X-S10 is another great choice at this price point. It even has IBIS, but its frame rate options are more limited, and it has a less reliable autofocus system. The Canon R10 is good for travel photography, even with its relatively large hand grip. It's small and light enough to be easily carried around in a bag or on a sling for hours. The overall image quality is also very good, and the camera's autofocus system is fast and accurate enough to lock onto moving subjects. Its fully articulated screen also makes it easier to snap pictures from unusual angles. Unfortunately, while it has a longer battery life than its M-mount predecessors, it's still best to bring another pack or two for longer days. Number 2. Sony a6700. If the Sony ZV-E1 sounds like overkill, you'll be all set with the Sony a6700, which is one of the best 4K cameras for YouTube at an upper mid-range price point. Though it lacks the exceptional low-light capability of the Sony ZV-E1, it's a fantastic and well-rounded APS-C camera. With internal 10-bit 4.2.2 recording, you can capture very high-quality video with more leeway to edit and color grade your footage. It's also one of the few cameras of its class that can record at up to 120 FPS in 4K, albeit with a significant crop. Beyond that, it features in-body image stabilization, IBIS, for smoother handheld recording, no recording time limits, and the same exceptional AI-driven autofocus found on the ZV-E1. While the a6700 is the best camera for YouTube videos at this price point, don't overlook the Fujifilm X-S20. Unlike the a6700, it can record 6.2K video from the full resolution of its sensor, and supports RAW video output to a compatible external recorder. That said, its autofocus isn't as reliable, and this model can't shoot 4K video at 120 FPS. The Sony a6700 is great for travel photography. It's relatively compact and easy to travel with, has good ergonomics, and a long battery life. It's also a very well-built camera, with a weather-sealed body to protect against elements like rain and dust. The image quality out of its APS-C sensor is excellent, and the camera has a great image stabilization system to help you shoot at slower shutter speeds handheld. It has a fantastic autofocus system as well, which tracks moving subjects very well, even in busier settings. That said, its viewfinder isn't the most comfortable to use. Number 1. Sony ZV-E1. The Sony ZV-E1 is Sony's first full-frame vlogging camera and the best 4K camera for YouTube if money is no obstacle. Like other models in the ZV lineup, it has a fully articulated screen that's great for self-recording, as well as a built-in vlogging mic. It doesn't have a viewfinder, but it's one of the most compact full-frame cameras on the market, though full-frame lenses can still add some bulk, so it isn't the most compact option for on-the-go vlogging. Still, if you tend to shoot in less controlled lighting conditions, this is a fantastic choice, thanks to a full-frame sensor optimized for low-light situations. Features like auto-framing or modes like Intelligent Auto and Cinematic Vlog do the heavy lifting to get the right look for your videos. However, the camera also supports internal 10-bit 4.2.2 log recording with 4K at up to 120 FPS, making it a good fit for advanced shooters who want more flexibility over the production process from shooting to uploading the final product. All said and done, these features combine to make this one of the best cameras for content creators, period. It has an incredible sensor and very good internal recording specs, but it seems designed to do the work for you in many ways, which feels somewhat at odds with its high-spec video capabilities. Ultimately, if you want a high-end video camera but don't care about the nitty-gritty of videography, this camera is for you. Its many shooting modes and AI-enabled features make it easy to become a one-person vlogging enterprise if that's your goal. Just be aware that it can overheat quite easily.